coming to the United States. I've been warning you for months now, and it's finally here. Dozens upon dozens of U.S. companies are cutting their costs in 2024. You know what this means? Layoffs for the American people. That's right. This is really scary for individuals and families across the country. We've seen the data. Americans are not set up for financial emergencies. They don't have savings accounts. They have tons of credit card debt right now. Worst of all, they have one income stream, their job. This is not a good position to be in when layoffs strike. And yet, we got these new jobs numbers that just came out. And it was hilarious to watch the mainstream media do a song and dance about it. CNBC, when the breaking news came in with the new jobs numbers, it was hilarious. Hotter than expected jobs numbers. But they didn't take the time to do their homework. If they did, they would have seen that actually full-time employment has plummeted and secondary jobs, 2 jobs, part-time jobs have exploded. So what does that mean? Americans are losing their long-time full-time jobs, and they're replacing them with double payrolls, 2 part-time jobs just to make ends meet. And CNBC and the Biden administration were applauding that. Hey, we increased the number of payrolls in America. That's great. Oh, no, you're lying once again. 2024 is the year of the layoff right now, and things are going to get worse before they get better. We're going from quiet cutting to loud, blatant, widespread, aggressive cutting. Many U.S. companies have announced their plans to cut costs this year. They're telling you it is coming, okay? They've signaled it. CNBC reported that corporate America is announcing layoffs across the board. So it's amazing that CNBC can make that announcement and yet not put 2 and 2 together to see that long-term, full-time jobs are declining. This is in every industry imaginable. We're talking department stores, software, toys, cosmetics, airlines, media companies. Bloomberg as well reported layoffs from tech, retail, and more. Watch.
Former World Bank President Paul Wolfowitz once said about firing employees, that's unfortunately part of doing business. And there's a lot of that sort of business being done these days. Just ask the 3,000 people being laid off at Estee Lauder.
Cutting as much as 3,000 positions. We continue to see job cuts. This is part of a restructuring plan to put one of the world's largest beauty companies back on track. Many investors, as we know, would have said this was long in coming.
Or the 32,000 tech employees let go already this year, including 10% of those working at Snap.
Snap saying these cuts are being made to, quote, best position our business to execute on our highest priorities. It's been facing that deceleration in ad revenue, as have many of its tech peers.
Or the 12,000 people in management at UPS who are about to be shown the door.
And what they're really doing is
it's been facing that deceleration in ad revenue, as have many of its tech peers.
Or the 12,000 people in management at UPS who are about to be shown the door.
And what they're really doing is looking at the structure of their net.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will to be edifying. Going into the economic instability. This is a report by Clayton Morris, which is from Redacted. It's called Morris Invest. And, he goes into particular events that happen around the world, from World War III to the immigration or the migration crisis to the economic woes to war to the border crossings. And, they cover it all, which I speculate that, they're insiders because they're able to say certain things without being reprimanded for it. But they're basically speaking on this economic collapse and economic downturn here we're facing in Babylon. And when you pay attention to it, you have what they call Bidenomics, which, they had infrastructure bill, global warming bills, and so-called to preserve free energy. But we know that was all a lie. And in fact, Bidenomics done nothing but bring more inflation to already inflated currency. The 2020 ordeal was basically just masking what was already transpiring behind closed doors. Okay, so they needed something to push it to the forefront without putting the people in panic mode, stating that the dollar is collapsing. But since 2015, we've been in a retail apocalypse, and more likely beyond then. Because remember, not even 20 years ago, we've had a economic collapse going back to 2008, which a lot of people didn't recover from it. Okay, so what we're seeing here, like Clayton Moore said, that we're going to see mass layoffs, and you have over 12,000 people from UPS and management getting ready to get the boot. And that's unlikely for UPS because UPS, they have full-time employees and they have seasonal employees. With seasonal employees, basically is the ones that kind of work throughout the season. They may work the Christmas season or, the school breaks and things like that, and then they'll lay them off and then they'll offer them the job back. But if you're on permanently with UPS and you get in, because I believe they're union, then you set. Okay, and it's really kind of hard to get fired from a job that has unions. But now they land over 12,000 employees for management, which is wild. Okay, and like Clayton Moore said, he said most people only have one income. And this is why you have all these side hustles out here. This is why you have Lyft, Uber Eats, people resorting to gig work, OnlyFans content, women selling themselves, because there's really no other sources of income out here outside of a 40-hour work week. And people are getting weary of that. But you see, as time progresses and as this current administration continues to further dismantle this economy, which this is all Yahweh Bashimi Hawashai is doing, by the way, people are going to start to bug out. And this is why everybody is looking forward to this next selection, because they believe that Trump is going to come and fix the economy, because believe it or not, Trump has business ethics because he's a businessman at the end of the day. So everybody's hope and dream is that they fix the economy, curb inflation, which is soon to be hyperinflation, by the way, according to the scriptures, lower rents, bring back high-paying jobs, just kind of ease the tensions off people, because I went to the store the other day, and what did I buy? I bought some fruit, some celery, some turkey, a few other items. Goddamn bill was $30. But yet, you got migrants, and this is kind of up for debate too, that's getting all this money. This is what they're pushing in the media narrative. But regardless of it, what makes sense is if they was really getting all this money, which I'm not saying they're not getting money, because clearly they're taking care of them more than the citizens of Babylon. But if they was getting all this money, they wouldn't need to try to force Jake out, or they wouldn't be running up on Jake or these other people, which shows you that whole they're getting $10,000 a month is just a play on your emotions. Though that is happening in a lot of cases, but it's a case-by-case basis, not every single one of them. Because that's the case, they wouldn't be in dire straits either. But you people in America, you're getting ready to face straits, dire straits, which straits goes into paths of difficulties. Scriptures say that many of them that dwell in the earth in the latter times should roughly paraphrasing it, should be troubled because their pride. And we're seeing the pride of the people. This is why when you go into grocery stores, people looking pissed off, man, because a buggy for the groceries run your ass $500. Okay, one Edomite chick was tripping because she stated that prior to this whole ordeal, 2020, she said that her grocery bill was $300 a month, which that's still a lot for some groceries, but you get more bang for your buck. Now she said that grocery bill was $600 now, which is like a third of your fucking income. Okay, so this place is through. Yahweh Bashimi Hawashai is putting a plug on this place, and you know what? Good riddance to this place and you people. I'm about tired of looking at it. All right, so this is the book of Ecclesiastes 12:1. It's like I'm drinking something. But it says here, remember thou thy creator in the days of thy youth, when the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Yeah. The Lord says, seek him early, that he may be found. Don't be like Sister Maybelline. When she becomes 70 years old, she want to be an usher and a pot collector in a church. All right, don't be like that. Miss Maybelline been a thought her whole life. Now, all of a sudden, now, after her husband died and passed away and went to the spirit world, she wanted to stop hoeing and play the role of the widow woman of the church. Washing the saints' feet and taking care of the saints. Nah, dang, that ain't where it's at. But it says, remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, when the evil days come not, nor when the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, meaning seek Yahweh Bashim Shah while you can. Okay, the good news for us brothers is the fact that we're still in the fight, And we've been searching Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai before all hell breaks loose, should I say. Okay, don't be like these Johnny come latelys when hell comes loose, then they want to seek out the prophets and these people that turned their back on us and they want to come back into the fold. Nah, man. You know, like I said, you're going to have a lot of guys that's going to be popping back up because they see that prophecy is taking place and prophecy is jumping off the pages. And coincidentally, we had a situation last week that I'm not going to mention his name, but basically he hit up a brother and the brother was like, guess who that was? And I hit it right on the head. I'm like, such and such, you know. So yeah, you're going to see more of these guys start to pop up. But it says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. You had what they call the baby boomers, you know, when the production in America, when they made everything before outsourcing and they actually created their own products. America was literally like its strongest economy in the world, like to the point you can have a family of 4 and own a white picket fence house with 2 cars in a driveway off 1 income. Now you need 3 incomes, including another income on top of a side hustle, in order to make the rent, because everything is just out of whack. And we told you dummies out there that this current administration was going to be the one that bring the fire to you. Now you got simple-minded jakes that want to hop on a Trump bandwagon, all because that dude Biden didn't deliver on his promise, which we told you he wasn't going to do that, man. But it says, in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Yeah, that's that pessimistic spirit. Okay, when you go into the world now, you see people, they have a pessimist spirit on them, man. They're not looking too happy. This is why they're hoping for Trump to come and make ends meet. But even then, a lot of people don't even have faith in this minute or in any forms of government, because if you pay attention to Trump, he's been changing his stance lately. Okay, he said he was going to back the small hats. So if he's going to back the small hats and Netanyahu, you know who, is full steam ahead to go to war, you think Trump is going to stop him from doing that? Okay, even Trump admitted himself that him and China has a tarnished relationship. And we know that Iran hates Israel, okay? And we know that Israel and Russia and China are allies. So what that tells you, whether you choose option A or B, the same outcome is going to be what it is, okay? All hell breaking loose, or economic collapse followed by all hell breaking loose, martial law deployed in the streets, then Esau instituting the MOTB, and then the missiles. There's only one way that this can go, okay? You may have 2 options, but you have an intersecting street, but eventually that street leads to one road. You may have an intersecting road here, but you have one path, and that's the destruction of this freaking place. And it says, and the door should be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. It's talking about the economy, okay? When you think of grinding, you think of somebody that's working. It says the door should be shut in the streets because, I mean, you got companies going out of business left and right. Tech companies are laying off because you got this AI shit, you know, which if people were smart, they would learn AI and they would, invest in it, and they would work in that field, doing remote work or tech and AI. That's where the money is at. And me personally, I'm thinking about doing some AI shit because, I mean, honestly speaking, if I can work without having somebody to hoover over my shoulders every damn 5-10 minutes, then I'm cool. Which I don't have a micromanaging problem now because, I mean, I have full autonomy to do what I have to do, which, hey, the Wadi How by Shimi How Shai, because, that balance, it gives us time to focus. But overall, you people should see what the AI industry is about because that's where the money is at. Okay, and the Biden administration have lied about all the jobs they created because who the hell wants to work 3 or 4 jobs? You work for a state government and all of a sudden you getting off work and working at a damn gas station. Like, who the hell wants to do that? But you bobblehead Americans, you asked for it. And this is really the Lord repaying you back because of all the injustices you've done to people around the world. Okay, you've pillaged nations. You've robbed nations. You've spoiled nations. You've murdered people. Okay, through germ warfare, pestilence, war, famine. Okay, you've bankrupt countries, man. Okay, you literally have people. You have the highest homeless population damn near in the world almost, man. Okay, they say that California has the highest homeless population in the country. A place like California that was beautiful beyond comparison in the 90s lucrative place to live. If you lived in Cali, hey, you lived the dream. Now you go to Oakland, it look like Beirut out there. You go to the Bay Area, it's horrible, man. Snatch and grabs all over the damn place. No. But it reads here, when the grinding is low, and it says, and he should rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music should be brought low. And that the voice of the bird is talking about your alarm clocks. Okay, in the morning you have what they call a rooster. You know, roostering and making that noise, man, to the point it annoys the hell out you. But that's his job, to wake you up, to get in the field. It says, and the daughters of music should be brought low. Okay, this guy, what's his guy name? He just died, Rich Homie Quan. And another guy just died, man. I forgot the nigga's name, but he just went to the spirit world as well. So the Lord is clipping you one by one, man. And sometimes in threes, they say death comes in threes. But it says, when they should be afraid of that which is high, fear should be in the way. And the almond tree should flourish, and the grasshopper should be a burden, and the desire should fail, because men go alone to his home, and the mourners go about the streets. Yeah, homeless people. Okay, people don't have the ambition anymore to really fulfill their lives here, because they realize that this is the end. Okay, and it's the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai putting a dark spirit on these people, because like I said, when you go to the marketplaces or the stores and stuff like that, these people are really, they don't have any hope, and they're like one edge away from being a ticking time bomb. And I'm thinking that if this selection does not go the way that the people anticipate, and this guy DJ doesn't win, hey, you better believe people gonna riot. All right, and they gonna target you Jakes, because they look at it like you Jakes is the problem. Okay, same thing in Rome. When Rome fell, guess who they blamed it on? Blamed it on you Israelites, man. All right. Anyway, this is the book of Isaiah 19, and I'm gonna start at verses 5. It says, and the water should fell from the sea, and the river should be wasted and dried up. Yeah, man, because I mean the Missouri River is drying up. Parts of it. We was traveling to Chicago, the brothers and myself, and we was looking, and I mean the rivers are totally drying up out here. And this is why people are so damn dry in the spirit, because they don't have any nourishment out here. It's too landlocked. Okay. And it says here, and the brooks of the fence should be empty and dried up, and the reeds and flags shall wither. Yeah, you know, your abandonments, your schools. You know how like when you go in those abandoned yards and they have the old flag withering away? That's how it's going to be here in America in a little bit, because it's going to look like a third world country. And it says, and the paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away and be no more. And the fishes also shall mourn, and all they that cast anger into the brooks shall lament. Because when you go to like Washington State and Tacoma, Washington, and Vermont, and those places, they're very, very lucrative when it comes to the mackerel market, man, because that's a port city. But it says the fishes also shall mourn, and all they cast in anger into the brooks shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the water shall languish. Okay. It says, moreover, they that work in fine flax, they that weave networks should be confounded. Yeah, man, you know, your clothing stores, all that stuff. And they should be broken into purposes thereof, and all that make of sluices and ponds for fish. But surely the princes of Zoan are fools, and the counsel of the wise of counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish, and the modern day Pharaoh is the devil. It says, how say we unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise and the son of the ancient kings? Because, I mean, they're sloppy. I mean, you would think common sense is to pay off the debt and bring back wealth to your people, but yet you outsource everything, and then you're printing out money out of thin air, which is further causing this country into a depression. Which is why you have that's why sooner than later a carton of eggs gonna run you $200, man. Okay, wait till this dollar collapse and the banks go under and you can't get your money. I guarantee you a pack of hot dogs gonna run you $75, man, for the pork. And that's when people gonna lose it. People gonna lose it. They gonna be on edge. And then all of a sudden, you know, people, they just gonna start stealing from stores. They're gonna start rioting. They're gonna start attacking one another. You know? And we're warning you now. And it says here, and the Lord have mingled. It says, and the Lord have mingled. Where? Wait a minute, I lost my place. Yep, it says, where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what Yahweh, the hosts, have purpose upon Egypt. It reads, the princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Noph are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that have the stay of the tribes thereof. Therefore, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggering in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail or branch or rush may do. And in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it should be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he's shaking over it. Yeah, because like I said, this is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's purpose to destroy America, man. Okay, first, which is spiritually, was never spiritually right. They say that this place was built upon Christian values, which that's all bullshit. Okay, because your founding forefathers were Freemasons, which they claim to be Christians, and Christianity is a Masonic religion anyway, believe it or not. But anyway, 2nd Ezra 16, and I'm going to start at verses 38. It says, as when a woman with child in 9 months bringeth forth her son, for 2 or 3 hours of our birth great pains can pass our womb, which pains when the child cometh forth they slack not a moment. Even so, not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. And we're seeing this mainly in the Western countries. You know, you have the migration crisis, you have the economic stability, you have this digital infrastructure up and rising. Okay, I believe out there in what Chinese country is that? I was reading it earlier. But basically, they have to set up a digital payment system, which is going to be mandatory, the MOTB. You see, you have this AI all over the place. But it reads, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Pilgrim is a person that sojourn to and fro. It says, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as the one that will lose. Yeah, because, I mean, eventually you ain't going to have nothing to come back to. You know, like I'm at the point now, like I don't overly invest in too much on anything because I see the end. You know, like I was speaking with my supervisor today and I was dealing, you know, I was talking and you can see it in their spirit. They don't really have hope no more. You know, it's like the jobs are more lax now. It's like ain't nobody really messing with nobody. And I'm cool with that because it's easy money, you know. But nobody's making a big deal anymore. They're just showing up and giving the bare minimum. And they're not tripping on nobody because, I mean, shit. They don't even know what's going to come of this election. But an economic collapse will be here sooner than later, which is going to bring in an MOTB, which an economic collapse is going to lead them to war, World War III. So in the midst of the economic collapse, the rioting and the chaos, the inflation, the chip war, okay? Because once America collapses as a superpower, at this point, they like, look, we could just take it. Because the only reason why nations are still kind of entwined with this place is because of that damn dollar. But once that fails, the elites put a plug on it. Forget about it. They're going to exercise their right to shoot missiles here. But it says here, he that occupy merchandise as he that have no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that should not dwell therein. Yeah, all these developments, they're building up all this real estate, but yet they say 34% of the office space in America is vacant. Okay, vacant in the corporate world. Now, you may think that's minute, but think about all the cities combined together, and you have 30% office space in these cities. That's not a lot. Okay, that's horrible. I remember when I was going to like a particular chiropractor, man, and they deal with like, you know, particular muscles and stuff like that. And it was like in this big compound out in a prominent area of Kansas, in Shawnee, Kansas, which is a rich county out there. You got to have money to live out there. So I went out there to go see a specialist, and literally this compound probably could have had about 30, 40 offices maybe, and you only had 2 businesses in there. And one was barely making it. And I doubt if they even still there. All the people, retail space, people packed up. They stay, you know what, we're going to work from home and we're going to keep it there. Because I believe in this pandemic, they cashed out $4 trillion, one of the biggest wealth grabs in history. Okay, millionaires became billionaires. Billionaires became 100 billionaires. 100 billionaires became trillionaires, man. Trillionaires became gazillionaires. And you, Jakes, and the working class have become broker. They say this is the most credit card debt in history since the time of the Great Depression. So let that sink in. People ain't paying their bills. They ain't got the money. You know? And it says, he that occupy merchandise as he that have no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that should not dwell therein, and he that soweth as if he should not reap. So also he that planted a vineyard as he that should not gather the grapes. And they that marry as they that should get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain. So it's all vanity at the end of the day. And all that 40-hour week 401k escrow account BS that you guys are always bragging about is going to come to nothing soon, okay? So with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you edify. Shalom.
Networks, whether that is their labor network and then their management ranks. They're looking at their brokerage business. They've decided to put that under strategic review. What it is showing us is that they're taking a hard look at their costs. And, we would probably have to say UPS and some other large transportation companies have gotten fat over the years.
Not even those in the relatively new departments devoted to diversity, equity, and inclusion are immune, as we heard this week that Zoom is shuttering the entire operation and outsourcing it.
These companies are dedicated to cutting costs this year, and they're doing this whether they're profitable or not. There's no limit to what's happening here, and no one is safe. Here's what's behind the major layoffs happening this year. So inflation. Inflation hasn't been kind to anyone, and most people have less expendable income. So as consumers cut back on spending, corporations are feeling pressure from their shareholders to do the very same thing. And in years past, companies could get away with passing down higher costs to the customer. But because of inflation, resuming student loan payments, and other economic factors, people are simply spending less overall. Corporations cutting costs across the board to increase their bottom line. And the easiest way to do it is by mass layoffs. Technology, financial companies are at the forefront, but no industry is safe. Here are just a few examples. Macy's plans to close 5 major stores, cutting 2,300 jobs. JetBlue Airways, Spirit Airlines, huge staff buyouts. UPS cutting 12,000 jobs just months after reaching a union deal. Figure that, right? Paramount announced hundreds of layoffs. Maybe people are sick and tired of their woke content. Maybe you'll learn a lesson. Chipotle testing an avocado scooping robot to replace workers. Do you know Chipotle already rolled out different robots to deliver food to people? Chick-fil-A did the same thing. So now after you get your order, you sit at your table, a robot will bring it to you because, you know what? A lot cheaper than having a human being. And those are just a few examples right now. Outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas reported a total of 84,000 planned cuts in February alone. The firm's labor and workplace expert said, as we navigate the start of 2024 into the summer, we're witnessing a persistent wave of layoffs. And we're just getting started with the year of the layoff. I mean, we'll see how it ends up at the end of 2024. Your company is not loyal to you, guys. Remember that. No sector, no industry, no company. I mean, we'll see how it ends up at the end of 2024. Your company is not loyal to you, guys. Remember that. No sector, no industry, no company or role is safe. Transportation, manufacturing, energy, food, manufacturers, media have all been affected. Heck, the same report announced that even education has announced more job cuts this year. Layoffs for teachers? Really? I mean, that's the most absurd thing I've heard since avocado scooping robot right now. But it's okay. The Biden administration just sent another $40 billion to Ukraine. We can help them. We are paying the pensions and salaries of their workers in Ukraine, by the way, just so you know. That's true. There's never been a more important time to take control of your finances in the United States because the government's not going to do it for you. Get out of high interest debt, diversify your income streams, and I hope that you've been listening to the messages I've been sharing here on this channel, okay? Now more than ever is the time to take control of your financial future. Do it. The government keeps pushing this narrative that there's no recession and unemployment numbers are low, yet layoffs for February and early part of 2024 are at the highest level since 2009, for crying out.
What will you tell your kids when this land has no more food left? Prepare for the downfall.
We haven't seen how bad this is going to get yet. I mean, everybody's talking about the cost of food. There's not going to be any food.
What would you do if there was no food left on the supermarket shelves? Eat canned food till it runs out, like 99% of people?
Wow. We'll get back to that video in a minute, but first, I need to tell you about a golden opportunity for investors that's happening right now. Mortgage rates have plummeted in anticipation of the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates at their upcoming meeting in September. Now, it's good news for buyers, and it has presented a unique overlap in the investing world right now. Remember, when mortgage rates spiked last year, well, a lot of sellers started offering incentives to help investors achieve positive cash flow. For example, my company, Morris Invest, and our team over at Sedera Wealth started offering clients a rate buy-down credit. Now, a rate buy-down drastically reduces your mortgage payment. If you've ever run the numbers on an investment property, you know that's a big deal. Now, here's where the golden opportunity comes in. When mortgage rates change, it can take a while for other things like seller incentives to start catching up. So even though you can get a mortgage rate in the low 6s right now, and that could be even lower by the time you're seeing this video, right now you can also lock in a rate buy-down credit on top of that. And this is huge, people, huge. With the two combined, our team's finance expert said he's seeing our clients locking in rates he hasn't seen in years. But here's the catch. The window of opportunity here is very narrow. This overlap will close very soon. So those seller incentives are going to fall off very, very soon. There are two more reasons to move quickly on this. One, prices are rising week over week. And now that rates are going down, they're going to spike even more dramatically, which will be made worse by two, increasing competition. Potential buyers have been sitting on the sidelines just waiting for rates to drop. And now that they have, they're going to flood the market, reproduce bidding wars, pushing prices even higher. If you need a refresher on the advantages of owning real estate, like how it delivers 4 streams of income through number 1, appreciation and equity, not want to miss out, click the link below and schedule a free call right now. It could be the most important call you make this year. The government keeps pushing this narrative that there's no recession, and yet we just got jobs numbers showing that the layoffs for February into March were the highest they've been since 2009. This is not good. This is why the Biden administration pushing the idea that Bidenomics is actually creating more jobs. It's just not the case, unless we're talking about senior citizens delivering pizzas to pay their bills during retirement. Seriously. Watch my video on retirement if you want to hear the truth about the massive failure in the American retirement system. And when you combine this news about layoffs with the atrocious state of credit card debt, we're looking at a really troubling situation for the American people right now. And that's a whole other issue. But if you haven't yet seen my videos on the credit card crisis we're facing, you want to check out those next videos. Thank you guys